Hello, everybody, and welcome to another video. Hope everyone has had a happy new year, spending time with family, friends, and eating a bunch. As that's what the holidays are for. In this video, we're going to be talking about Barca's downfall, all the decision makings from both teams, the players, tactics, and really how the game planned out and why it turned out the way it did. When we look at the stats of the game, it's pretty evident who dominated, and it was throughout the entire game. It was Athletic Club. Um, they had 29 shots to Barcelona's seven. It was so hard to say that because in almost 2 hours of football, you shoot ball 7 times. I think it just shows kind of how much this team lacks in ideas going forward and how inefficient they just are, in my opinion. Sure, Athletic Club, they did miss 16 of the 29 shots they had. But, the saying goes, if you don't shoot, you never know if you make it. To know if you're going to win the game is how you start off, right? And we'll get to a moment on how badly they start off. But, compared to shots on target, Athletic Club's 7 to Barcelona's 4, just not great as well. And kind of in the attacking phase, they just, were a lot worse. And when we look at big chances as well, Athletic Club's 9 to Barcelona's 3, which is, just horrible. Not only that they had less big chances than Athletic Club, when you look at how much they missed all of them. They missed every single one, which, you know, it just shows there's no idea on how to go forward. When we do have the chance and we do get forward, there's no quality. We do have a moment of brilliance in the game, which will be talked about in a little bit, but it's not good enough by Barcelona, quite frankly. And to get a visual of how many times each team shot the ball, looking at this visual by Athletic Club, all those circles you see there are all the shots that went on target, which is pretty insane. All right, yeah, about 6 of them are outside the box. The rest are there. The rest are there. And it's just kind of insane, kind of pathetic, kind of embarrassing that you get that many shots on target for Barcelona sense, and not even that they're so close to the goal. Like there's about 2 or 3 that are inside the 6 yard box. That's not acceptable. That's just so unacceptable. And then you could look here on how many shots Barca took on target. That's about 5 in the box, none in the 6 yard box, and about 2 that are outside the box. It's just you can't. You're giving yourself no chance if you're not shooting the ball. Quite frankly. Now we're going to start moving on to some of the clips of the games where I just see that Barca completely capitulate, and it's just pretty embarrassing on how they how the crowd gets into their head. As first world class players, you'd expect that they'd be able to, be able to not calm the storm, but be able to shut the team up a little bit and everything. But quite frankly, that just doesn't really happen. The crowd controls this game 100%. Not only that, the crowd also gave Athletic Club their energy, and they just had so much more than Barcelona. Before we go to any clips specifically, I want to show a picture of the moment that Athletic Club's goal goes in. 36 seconds on the clock. Now, if you guys didn't know, that is very early. It's not even the earliest goal that Barca have conceded this season. It's their third first-minute goal that they've conceded this season, which just shows how horribly they start games. And it's something I've always said from the start. If Barca start off losing, they don't have the mental fortitude to turn the game around and to win it. You know, the crowd was behind him after the first minute for Athletic Club anyway. The team had the energy, Barca didn't. And 36 seconds into the game, they start losing, which is just not a great start. That I do put to the players because you cannot start any football game like that, especially at the professional level. Now, when looking at this picture right here, it's Lamine Yamal and Kunde that are on this side of the field. And Kunde is looking to make the overlap, which I don't think is a bad decision, but Yamal has 2 players on his back. And he sees, I'm pretty sure he knows that he has the player on his left, which is why he plays on Kunde the ball back, because he's like, why are you making the overlap if there's two guys in front of me? And the ball will be intercepted, right? But Kunde doesn't get the memo, and it's like these guys have never played before. So, as we see, the ball just kind of passes them, and they're both chasing, and Barca eventually lose the ball. They have a shooting opportunity, Bilbao, and that's just not where you can lose the ball. You cannot lose the ball on your third of the pitch. Looking at one of the clips that I gathered from the game, you could see in this Christensen tackle that the forward, you got to be able to read the forward. He was going to leave the ball through, and you had already gained position on him. If he was going to let the ball through, you would have been there. You didn't need to go for that tackle. I do think it's just a lack of concentration on his part there. Looking at this picture here, I do think that is. I actually don't know who that. I think it's Christian. Yeah, it's Christensen who plays this ball to Ferran Torres. In the 25th minute, Xavi talked a lot about bringing, back the Barca DNA from what he knew in Pep's time and everything. Pep wouldn't have accepted. I don't think he would have accepted this type of ball that's in the same side of the field, same line. Maybe a switch ball, he would have accepted, but left center back to left wing, I don't think he would have taken that. Christensen, if we were to play the old Barca way, he would have split the line there. Maybe not to Pedri as he had a guy in front of him, but I do think he would be able to play Gundogan there, and he'd be able to turn. Lewandowski could be on the run as well as Yamal, and you'd slot the ball through there. Pep's style was breaking through the lines, moving the opponent as much as you needed to until you broke the line, and then that's how you move forward on the pitch. And quite frankly, the chance, it became fortunate because we score off of it, although it is lucky, I must say. The defender tried to clear it. I can't really see who that is, to be honest. Tries to clear it. Lewandowski sticks his leg out, hits his leg, and goes in. Although, yes, it's a great pass by Christensen. It's a great touch by Ferran Torres. Great pass as well that leads to the ball to Pedri, who fortunately can't finish it. But, we didn't get to that point really playing great football. That makes sense. It wasn't great build up. It wasn't nice, fluid. Um, the end result was, lucky. But of the two goals that we scored, you could easily look at that as, well, that was a lucky one. So we really could have only just have scored one. In this frame, in the 41st minute, this is something I've been saying for a while, and it hasn't seemed to have gotten any better, to be quite frank. Barcelona suck at defending corners. They are not great. And we can see here in this one. Looks like Nico Williams is whipping the ball in, and in the back post area, top of the box, really, you see, I think it's Ferran Torres that is marking the player who's going to end up attacking the ball. Now, as the corner as is being sent in, Ferran Torres isn't even looking at the ball. That's probably my biggest pet peeve in football. That without the ball, the man can't do anything. So what's the point of defending the man? You know what I'm saying? Um, as the ball's being whipped in, Ferran Torres isn't looking at the ball, so he's solely focusing on the man, who eventually passes him and ends up winning the header. To be fair, they don't score off of it, but it's just not great defending. And I don't think, and yes, he's not a defender; he's a forward, but you have to keep your eye on the ball. Quite frankly, you can't. Not only you're in a better position than he is, and he passes you completely and wins the header. That's just unacceptable, man. I don't care what position you play in all facets of the game. You can't let that happen. Backtracking a little bit to Barca's second goal, which gives them the lead to this game. I think it's good pass to Lamont. Excellent touch to fake the left back into thinking he was gonna take it inside. Goes down the line. And what I see in this goal is that it's just so unfortunate how our 16-year-old right winger, he has to pull something out of his magic hat and he has to create the moment. I think that's gonna, it's a good sense for him that he's gonna be a great player for sure, 100%. It's just that it's a little disappointing in the experienced players and the players that you think have been playing at this level for a lot longer than what he has aren't able to pull out moments like that. And this game needed something like that for us to be able to win it. And unfortunately, um, Yamal's goal wasn't able to be it. But yeah, it's a great ball to him. Great fake to him of going inside, cuts inside. Center backs don't know where he's going, and the confidence too to shoot that ball. Because when you look back on it, he had about Pedri there as well as Ferran Torres that were horizontal of him. He could easily have laid the ball there, and they could have hit it first time or whatever. But no, he was like, "I'm gonna take this. I have the ball. I've gained good position. I'm on the top of the box, and I could score this goal." And he does just that. Hits it so well. It's buried into the bottom corner, which I do think was one of the positive moments that Barca had in this game. Now, this chance by Amal in the 64th minute, a lot of people are going to slate on him, saying he should have scored it or whatever. I do think of the two wide open chances he had, this was the one that you got to be a little easier on the kid. He did have two guys on his back. He did have the goalkeeper to beat. I do think he kicks it wrong as it goes wide. I don't think he chips it obviously, but it goes too much on his big toe side of his foot, or his left foot. But you know, I don't think it's that much. I don't think it's that horrible of a miss personally. Is it a chance that we probably expect him to score for sure? But you got to be easy on the kid. He did produce you one of the better moments of the game, and so you know you gotta be easy on that one. I think this clip in the 65th minute, well, it's not a clip, it's a series of photos, but it shows quite frankly how just like late Barca are to their defending. The Athletic Bilbao player here, he has the ball receiving to him in the air, so he heads it down to Nico Williams. Nico Williams is able to receive it fine. Hector Fonte gets there late, so he's able to lay it off to the center mid. And then the center mid just takes it, and Christensen's, not anywhere near him. But Ferran Torres from the start of the first header, he was late. Hector Font late to the second. And then Christensen has to recover. And then they eventually go through and produce a chance off of that. It's just, the second and third balls. We might win the first, but those second, third balls are really what matter. And that if you don't kill those plays, these teams are going to hurt you. There's a series of photos here in the 70th minutes. Nico Williams gets the ball on the left hand side, top of the box, on the 18. He gives it to this oncoming player that's going in the box. Now, again, I don't think this is bad positioning by Pedri right here, as he has a good guy right there. And then Kunde, as he should, be in front of his man. De Jong, could he do a little better? Maybe. But he does have a guy right in front of him, so he's waiting for that ball to get to him, just in case. Ferran Torres needs to bring his guy back. He needs to be able to, see that because it's all in front of him. He should be able to see that this guy's running in. Nico Williams and him make eye contact, and he's going to play him the ball. And Ferran Torres just doesn't get there in time. He gets there after the ball's being played back to Nico Williams. And not only does that take Kunde out the game, it also takes out De Jong. And then, if we do look here, I don't remember who 22 is, to be honest. But this guy right here, he completely just lets him slide through. And if it wasn't for Araujo and Kunde sliding right there, Nico would have scored again. And it's just like the lack of urgency in defending, the lack of being able to put your body on the line. My fault. 22 is a Gundogan. But it's just like that. It looks like he's lost the mentality a little bit, and that's something that you just got to keep. And in defending, it's all mental, in my opinion. You just got to be switched on all the time. And I think once you're switched on, these guys know how to play ball. For sure, they do. Once you're switched on, you know where you're needing, and you know how to fix it, to be quite frank. The second of the open goals that Yamal kind of had is this one right here. This was the second one. And of the two opportunities, I do think he should have scored this one. Because at this point, he had passed the goalkeeper. There was no way he was getting there. And is it on his weaker right foot? For sure, yes. But I do think once you're there, it's hard to be calm, but you should stay. And I think he slots that home in a different atmosphere. We look here at the 95th minute. Again, Nico Williams, who was a huge threat to this game. He, in my opinion, man of the match. He gets the ball top of the box, inside the box though, and he does a fake shot and makes Kunde completely do a 180 and face the goal. Now, as a defender, that's schoolboy stuff. That is embarrassing. If you're going to, stand in front of a shot, you have to take it if it ends up hitting you. You can't turn your back on it like that because this is what happens. He does the fake, he hits the fake shot and takes the touch with this left foot, and then he's able to create that separation from Kunde and, get off a better shot, which, it ultimately doesn't go in, but it's again, you have to do better defending there. Another clip in the 105th minute, which is going into halftime of the extra time, is where Athletic Club get their third goal. And it's a turnover at the right side of the field for Barcelona. And we're looking here that, yes, Bilbao isn't really in a great position offensively as everyone's basically in a line. It's not very staggered. It is a little bit, but not very much so. But Barca are completely taken off guard. And Hector Font here, he has to get back. He has to sprint there, and right now. He's in the same line as Iñaki Williams now, who gets subbed on by this point, but he doesn't get there in time. As you see in the second frame, he beats him to it. Can't really see who this is by the number, but he does play a little like thigh pass to it, which I thought was excellent. Good improvisation there, which has Iñaki, you know, um, take it for a shot, hit the post. Very luckily, gets back to him where he slots it in. But I do think from the positioning standpoint, you have to be ready for the transition. And Athletic Club were able to punish Barcelona in that transition. And, they just weren't ready for it. Yes, Barcelona isn't very much a transition based team, but a lot of teams are nowadays. A lot of teams have been able to get used to it, not only attack that way, but be able to defend that way as well. And I think that's something that they just need to do better on. And looking back at the fourth goal, it's the 121st minute. Tired legs, Barca lose the ball again on the right side. And looking at the first freeze frame here, first picture, yeah, they're completely out of position. Joe Felix and someone else. Can't really see who that number is. That just rush to get back as quick as possible. The winger or left back has all the time in the world. He cuts it back because as everyone is rushing, they don't really pay attention to who they are covering. They're just kind of covering space as they have three men at the top of the box just waiting for the ball to get to them. And the ball gets to Iñaki Williams, who lays it off for his brother, Nico Williams, and he hits a great Trivela shot that eventually, goes in, and again, just kind of sets where Barca are at. They're just kind of defending hopelessly at this point. When you look back at the whole game, I don't think from start to finish Barca played well in a defending standpoint. And, they're not great offensively. They haven't been great offensively all season anyway. So as a team that can't defend or attack, it's pretty hard to win games. You can't defend well enough to keep the game to 2 scores or under, and you can't score enough to keep it 2 scores or over. So I do think it's quite a challenge that Barca have in front of them right now. As in the beginning of the season, I thought this was going to be the only trophy they were going to win. Quite frankly, I didn't think they were going to win La Liga. Madrid reinforced it very well, and then Atletico Madrid is a team that we should always fear. Girona, we didn't see being them up there, but they are, and we lost to them at home this season already. Man, so we still have to play them away. I don't think Barca are going to win a trophy this season, quite frankly. And if Xavi is a man of his word, as he did say, I think after this result or the one before when they lost to Madrid, if you don't reach our expectations or our objectives, then I will leave.
Now, this was before the recording when Xavi announced that he was leaving Barcelona at the end of the season. So, unfortunately, um, this segment is kind of irrelevant because now he has announced that he is leaving. But just a little caveat.
We'll see. He's a man of it because I know their objective for sure is to win a trophy. Is to win a trophy, nothing less and nothing more. And I don't think they'll win any. So we'll see what happens with Barcelona. You'd like to them with Barcelona. With Barcelona, you would like them to make more business in the transfer window, but they're just so poor at this point that they can't afford to. And so you kind of have to deal with the players that you got right now. Vitor Roque, I do think, will be the only transfer we do in January in terms of people coming in. Yeah, you know, we could hope that he brings a little bit more firepower to this Barca attack. But the kid is 19, I'm pretty sure. So you gotta give him some time. And you gotta expect more from this team. But that is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you're liking stuff like this and you want to see more, I do have a couple videos from the past that you guys could go check out on my channel. There's not a long catalog, so you could easily find it there. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one. Blessings.